So, yeah. Let's get into this fight that was last night that I watched live. And this is interesting, but not. It's Michael Hunter had a fight last night. And basically, this was the aftermath of what happened with Lopez Kambosos. They had this fight still in order. Chris Algieri was part of that. It was kind of a very, very uninspiring card to begin with. They had some music acts at the end that I felt like basically made sure that Madison Square Garden would be filled out. The fight was free on Fight TV, which is where I saw it. That's how you know it was not very good. But I have a few thoughts on Michael Hunter that I wanted to share. Going into this fight, I said on Twitter, which was Michael Hunter has to look impressive in this fight. He has to do really well in this fight. There's no excuses to not do well. Mike Wilson is a part-time fighter. He's not a full-time fighter. This is not his main profession. He should do very well against someone like a part-time fighter. So, the big thing for me with this is going forward is what Hunter wants to do. And that's a little bit more of an interesting conversation. And that's Michael Hunter wants to fight Dillian Whyte. He's tired of the excuses. He wants to go after Dillian Whyte. Now, I have mixed feelings about this, but I'll give you guys a general sense of what I'm seeing with this kind of general fight. Michael Hunter and Dillian Whyte have one major issue. Both of them have this issue. And that is both of them can sometimes have stamina problems. We saw this with Hunter versus Povetkin. He came out very fast. He slowed down substantially. He just didn't have the gas tank for what he was trying to do. He did hurt Povetkin, though, which makes it interesting because both of them share a like opponent. Dillian Whyte versus Mariusz Wach. We saw what happened there where he wasn't in good shape. He suffered that extra weight, poor stamina. It was a poor fight, very sloppy. Either one of these guys can gas out. That said, let's talk about more recent fights. Dillian Whyte in the Povetkin return fight looked phenomenal. Physically, he looked phenomenal. His approach to the fight looked very promising. He traded coaches, which some people questioned, but clearly paid off. He looked really, really good, well put together, and he physically, when he stepped on the scale, looked maybe the best I've seen him in a long time. He looked really good. Now, granted, you can talk about Povetkin coming off of COVID. There's photos showing his arms and how different the actual mass looks, and like he might have lost some muscle mass because he had to take some time off of training because of COVID. He was hospitalized because of COVID. That said, Whyte still performed exceptionally well. In this last fight with Hunter, I needed him to excel and do really well, and he did fairly well. He got the KO or stoppage in the 4th round. Michael Hunter, I like to see someone that's hyper aggressive and just going after people. I like that a lot. I want to see that from both of them. And I think what we have here is a very interesting styles makes fight kind of situation with Hunter versus Whyte. Whyte is going to be a much more brawler style, but Hunter at the same time does not shy away from kind of conflict and getting hit, which makes him interesting for this. What's going on, Vet? How you doing, brother? So for me, this idea of Michael Hunter fighting Dillian Whyte is intriguing. I have not seen Michael Hunter get hit by a truly big man in a good physique or position in terms of their stamina and training. I think the big thing for me is I want to see how both guys would go into this physically. If they're both, I imagine we could see two guys. Oh, what's going on, Bon? I could see two guys that are in great shape. And I could see two guys that could be out of shape and make a sloppy fight. I think in general, I think we'll see two guys that are in good shape if this happens.